Stop, don't scroll. That black dirty wheat penny sitting in your drawer right now might be worth more than your entire phone. Yeah, the ones people throw away, the ones that look burned, corroded, or completely ruined, those are the exact coins collectors are quietly hunting. Behind closed doors, deals are happening. Cash is changing hands. And the craziest part? Most of these coins are still in circulation. The first one looks almost black, faded, worn, nearly unreadable. Most people would spend it without thinking, but hidden inside that darkness is a rare detail collectors will pay thousands for. The second one, even worse condition, scratches, damage, looks worthless, but one tiny mistake during production turns it into a hidden treasure. And then the last one. This is the coin people regret losing forever, because it doesn't look rare at all. It looks like trash, but collectors know the truth. That one detail can turn it into a six-figure coin. And here's the scary part. You might have already had one and spent it. So before you ignore another old penny, check your change, check your jars, because the next coin you touch might be the one everyone else is secretly looking for. If you have an old penny sitting somewhere in your house, in a drawer, in a jar, or even in your pocket, you might want to stop everything right now and check the date, because one small detail could mean the difference between 1 cent and thousands of dollars. Today, we are talking about the 1919 wheat penny, a coin that looks ordinary but has the potential to be worth a shocking amount of money. And the scary part is most people who own this coin have absolutely no idea what they are holding. The 1919 wheat penny is part of one of the most iconic coin series in American history, the Lincoln Wheat Cent. This design was first introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln. And from that moment, it became one of the most collected coins in the world. But the 1919 version is something special. Why? Because this coin was minted right after World War I, a time when the United States was changing rapidly. Coins from this period were heavily circulated, used daily, and rarely preserved in high condition. That means finding a high-grade 1919 wheat penny today is extremely rare, and rarity means money. Now, here's where things get interesting. The 1919 wheat penny was minted in 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. And each mint mark changes the value dramatically. If your coin has no mint mark, it was made in Philadelphia. Over 392 million of these were produced. That sounds like a lot, but most of them are worn, damaged, or lost. In average circulated condition, these coins might only be worth a few cents to a couple of dollars. But if you find one in uncirculated condition, meaning it looks almost brand new, the value jumps fast. We're talking hundreds of dollars, and in rare cases, even over 1,000. Now, let's talk about the 1919 wheat penny. This is where things start getting serious. The Denver Mint produced around 57 million coins that year, much fewer than Philadelphia. And because of heavy circulation, high-quality examples are extremely hard to find today. In average condition, a 1919 might sell for a few dollars, but in higher grades, it can easily reach hundreds. And if you somehow find one in mint condition, you could be looking at thousands of dollars. Yes, thousands for a 1-cent coin. And then we have the 1919 wheat penny. This is the one you really need to watch for. San Francisco minted only about 139 million coins, but they are notoriously difficult to find in high grades. The striking quality was weaker, and most coins entered circulation immediately. That means clean, sharp examples are rare. A worn 1919 might be worth a few dollars, but a high-grade version can sell for hundreds or even thousands. Some exceptional examples have reached prices that shock collectors. Now, here's something most people don't realize. Condition is everything. 2 coins with the same date, same mint mark, can have completely different values. One might be worth 5 cents, while another is worth $5,000. The difference? Tiny details. Look at the surface. Is it smooth or scratched? Are the details sharp or worn flat? Can you clearly see Lincoln's hair? The wheat stalks on the back? If the coin still has its original red color, That's even better. These are called red coins, and they are extremely valuable compared to brown or worn ones. Now, let's talk about errors, because this is where things can get crazy. Some 1919 wheat pennies were struck with mistakes during the minting process, and these errors can make a coin worth far more than its normal value. For example, double die errors. This is when the design is stamped twice, slightly misaligned. It creates a doubling effect on the letters or numbers. If you see doubling on the date or the word Liberty, you could be holding a very valuable coin. Another error to watch for is off-center strikes. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned during minting. Part of the design may be missing, and these coins are highly collectible. There are also die cracks, clip planchets, and other unusual defects. Each one can increase the value dramatically depending on how rare and visible the error is. And here's the dangerous part. Most people don't check. They see an old penny and assume it's worthless. They spend it or throw it away or leave it sitting forgotten. Meanwhile, collectors are paying serious money for these exact coins. Now imagine this. You go through your old coins tonight. You find a 1919 wheat penny. It looks different, cleaner, sharper. You look closer. You notice something unusual. Maybe doubling. Maybe a mint mark. Maybe a bright red color that hasn't faded in over 100 years. And suddenly, that 1 cent coin could change everything. This is not just about money. It's about history. Every 1919 wheat penny has a story. It has passed through countless hands, survived decades, maybe even wars, and now it might be sitting with you. So, what should you do if you think you have one? First, don't clean it. Cleaning a coin can destroy its value instantly. Even if it looks dirty, leave it as it is. Collectors prefer original surfaces. Second, examine it carefully. Use a magnifying glass. Check the date. Look for a mint mark under the date. Inspect for errors or unusual features. Third, consider getting it graded. Professional grading services can authenticate your coin and assign it a condition grade. This can significantly increase its value and make it easier to sell. Finally, do your research. Prices can vary depending on condition, rarity, and demand. Some coins sell for small amounts, others for life-changing money. And the 1919 wheat penny sits right in that sweet spot. Common enough to find, but rare enough to be valuable. That's what makes it so exciting. Because the next time you see an old penny, you won't ignore it. You'll check the date. You'll look for the mint mark. You'll search for those tiny details that most people miss. And who knows, you might be holding a hidden treasure. So, before you skip this, before you move on, take a moment. Check your coins. Because that one small penny could be worth far more than you ever imagined. And if you enjoyed this, make sure you stay alert. Because there are more rare coins out there, hiding in plain sight, waiting to be discovered. If you have a jar full of old pennies, or even just a handful of coins lying around your house, you might want to stop right now, because one of those coins could secretly be worth far more than 1 cent. Most people ignore pennies. They drop them, lose them, or never even bother picking them up. But what if I told you that a single penny from 1940 could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars? Yes, a coin most people would never even look at twice could actually be a hidden treasure. Today, we are talking about the 1940 wheat penny, a coin that looks simple but has layers of value that most people completely overlook. The 1940 wheat penny is part of the famous Lincoln wheat cent series. This design was introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln, and it quickly became one of the most recognizable coins in American history. On the front, you see Lincoln's portrait. On the back, 2 wheat stalks surrounding the words 1 cent. That's why collectors call it the wheat penny. But here's where things get interesting. Not all 1940 pennies are the same. In fact, some are nearly worthless, while others can sell for shocking amounts of money. And the difference comes down to a few tiny details that most people never check. The first thing you need to look for is the mint mark. The 1940 wheat penny was minted in 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. If your coin has no mint mark, it was made in Philadelphia. This is the most common version, with over 586 million coins produced. In worn condition, these coins are usually worth only a few cents. But if you find one in excellent condition, the value increases quickly. A bright, uncirculated 1940 penny can easily be worth tens or even hundreds of dollars. And if it still has its original red color, the value goes even higher. Now, let's talk about the 1940 DeWheat penny. This coin was minted in Denver, with about 81 million produced. That's much less than Philadelphia, which makes it more desirable. In average condition, it might be worth a few dollars, but in higher grades, especially uncirculated, it can reach hundreds of dollars. Collectors are always searching for clean, sharp examples, and they are willing to pay for them. Then we have the 1940 S-Wheat penny. This is where things start to get even more interesting. San Francisco produced around 112 million coins that year, but the quality of strikes from this mint can vary, making high-quality examples harder to find. If you have a 1940 S in excellent condition, it could be worth significantly more than you expect. But here's the truth that most people don't realize. Condition is everything. Two identical 1940 pennies, same mint mark, same year, can have completely different values. One could be worth a few cents, the other hundreds or even thousands, and the difference is in the details. Look closely at Lincoln's face. Can you see the fine lines in his hair? Are the wheat stalks on the back sharp and clear? Or are they worn flat? Coins with strong details, no scratches, and minimal wear far more valuable. And then there's color. Collectors divide copper coins into three categories: brown, red-brown, and red. Red coins are the most valuable. These are coins that still have their original mint luster, that bright, shiny copper color. These are extremely rare for a coin that's over 80 years old. If you find a 1940 wheat penny that still looks red, you could be holding something very special. Now, let's talk about errors, because this is where things can get really exciting. Some 1940 wheat pennies were struck with mistakes, and these errors can increase the value dramatically. One of the most important errors to look for is doubling. If the date or letters look doubled, slightly blurred, or shadowed, that could be a double die error. These coins are highly collectible and can be worth far more than normal coins. Another error to watch for is off-center strikes. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned during minting. Part of the design may be missing, and the coin looks unusual. Collectors love these types of coins, especially if the date is still visible. There are also clipped planchets where part of the coin is missing and die cracks where lines appear across the surface. Each of these errors can turn an ordinary penny into something valuable. But here's the problem. Most people never check. They see a penny and assume it's worthless. They spend it without thinking. They ignore it completely. And that's how valuable coins get lost. Right now, there are people out there spending rare coins without even knowing it. Coins worth hundreds, even thousands, being used as everyday change. And the 1940 wheat penny is one of those coins that often gets overlooked because it doesn't look special. It doesn't stand out. But if you know what to look for, it can be worth far more than you imagine. So here's what you should do. Go through your coins. Check every penny. Look for the date, 1940. Then look for the mint mark under the date. No mark D or S. Then check the condition. Is it worn or sharp? Is it dull or bright red? Then look for anything unusual, doubling, cracks, missing parts, because one small detail could change everything. And if you think you found something valuable, be careful. Do not clean the coin. Cleaning can destroy the value instantly. Even if it looks dirty, leave it as it is. Collectors prefer coins in their original condition. Instead, consider having it professionally graded. This can confirm authenticity, assign a grade, and increase the coin's value. And here's something to think about. This coin is over 80 years old. It has survived decades of history. It has passed through countless hands. And now it could be sitting with you, in your pocket, in a jar, in a forgotten drawer, waiting to be discovered. So, before you ignore your loose change again, take a second look, because that simple penny could be hiding something much bigger. And if you enjoyed this, make sure you stay alert, because there are more coins out there, more hidden treasures, and more opportunities to find something valuable right in front of you. If you think modern pennies are worthless, you might be making a huge mistake, because one of the most overlooked coins in circulation right now could be hiding in your pocket, your drawer, or your coin jar, and it could be worth far more than 1 cent. Most people believe only very old coins are valuable. Coins from the 1800s, early 1900s, something that looks ancient. But what if I told you a coin from 2009, yes, just a few years ago, could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars? Sounds impossible, right? But it's real. And today, we are talking about the 2009 D. Lincoln Shield penny, a coin that millions of people have seen, but almost no one actually understands. Here's the part that makes this coin special. The year 2009 was not just another year for pennies. It marked the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth and the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln cent design. To celebrate this, the United States Mint released a special series of pennies. 4 different designs, each representing a stage of Lincoln's life. And because of this, 2009 pennies are already different from most coins. But there's something even more important. Some of these coins were minted in very limited quantities, especially compared to normal years. And that's where the opportunity begins. Now, let's focus on the 2009 D penny. The D mint mark means it was produced at the Denver Mint. And here's something many people don't realize. The 2009 D pennies were not made for heavy circulation like most coins. A large portion of them were sold directly to collectors in rolls and sets. That means fewer high-quality coins actually made it into everyday use. So finding one in circulation today, especially in excellent condition, is much harder than you think. And that's exactly what collectors are looking for. Now here's where things start to get serious. Condition. This is the difference between a coin worth 1 cent and a coin worth hundreds of dollars. Most 2009 D pennies you find will be worn, scratched, or dull. But if you find one that looks brand new with sharp details and no damage, the value jumps. And if it still has that bright original red color, it becomes even more valuable. Collectors call these red coins, and they are the most desirable. Now imagine this. A coin that is only a few years old, but still looks untouched. No scratches, no wear, full shine. That coin could be worth far more than you expect. But we're not done yet, because the real money is in the errors. This is where things can go from normal to shocking. Some 2009 D pennies were struck with mistakes during production. And these mistakes can turn an ordinary coin into something extremely valuable. One of the most important errors to look for is doubling. If the letters or numbers appear slightly doubled, almost like a shadow, you might be holding a doubled die coin. These can sell for significant amounts depending on how strong the doubling is. Another error is off-center strikes. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned during minting. Part of the design may be missing, making the coin look unusual. Collectors love these coins, especially if the date is still visible. There are also die cracks, where lines appear across the surface of the coin, clip planchets, where part of the coin is missing, and even strike-through errors where foreign material gets pressed into the coin during minting. Each of these errors can increase the value dramatically. But here's the problem. Most people don't look. They see a modern penny and assume it's worthless. They spend it, drop it, ignore it. And that's exactly why valuable coins continue to slip through people's hands every single day. Right now, somewhere, someone is spending a rare coin without even realizing it. And the 2009 D penny is one of the easiest coins to overlook. Because it doesn't look old. It doesn't look rare. It looks like every other penny. But it's not. And if you know what to look for, you have an advantage that most people don't. So here's what you need to do. Start checking your coins. Look for the year, 2009. Then check for the mint mark, the small d under the date. Then look at the design. Because 2009 pennies have multiple reverse designs, and some are more collectible than others. Then check the condition. Is it clean or worn? Does it still shine or is it dull? And then look closely for anything unusual. Doubling, cracks, missing parts, anything that looks different. Because that small difference could mean big money. And if you think you found something valuable, be careful. Do not clean the coin. Cleaning can destroy its value instantly. Even if it looks dirty, leave it exactly as it is. Collectors want original coins, not polished ones. Instead, consider getting it graded by a professional service. This can confirm authenticity, assign a grade, and increase its value. And here's something to think about. This coin is modern, which means it's still out there, still circulating, still being used every day. That means you don't need to buy expensive collections. You don't need to search rare auctions. You just need to check your change, because the opportunity is already in your hands, right now. So before you ignore another penny, before you walk past one on the ground, take a closer look, because that one coin could be worth far more than you ever imagined. And if you enjoyed this, stay alert, because there are more modern coins, more hidden errors, and more chances to find something valuable hiding in plain sight.